Oh, welcome, everyone. Did I change the date? I did change the date. Yes, it is Tuesday, 10:04 a.m., November the 7th. Yeah. Whew. Welcome, everyone. Let's see if I can. Oh, there we go. That disappeared. Glad to see everyone coming in. Man. So good morning. Oh, hi, Kathy. Nice to have you here. So, oh man, my daughter leaves tomorrow to Mexico. She's going to Puerto Vallarta with a girlfriend, which will be fabulous for her, crappy for me since I have to take care of her dumbass dog. And but I don't mind taking care of my grandson because he's with us all the time, so that makes no difference. Yet they have fall break. First time, first year ever. To have this. So they have fall break, and fall break is from the 9th to the 15th, I believe, or 14th. So they are off for from they go to school tomorrow, so they're off from Thursday till next Tuesday. Like, oh my God. Education system. Man, education system. Making our kids stupider. Stupider. That's it. Stupider. That's my word. Stupider. Have you ever thought of the words before I get into things? Ever thought of the words that you're not allowed to say anymore? Like you shouldn't say, but you know they're damn good words, like retard. Sorry, I know some people take offense of that, but it's not to meaning offense of somebody who's actually mentally ill, although it is to talked about somebody who is mentally ill, but mentally ill in a stupid way. Probably gonna get my whole thing banned again. Um, but just certain words that but you know what? The F word, F-bomb, you could drop anywhere now. F-bomb is like, "Fuck this, fuck that, fuck you, blah, blah." You know, saying that, no problems, no problems, man. That would have been getting my mouth washed out with soap very quickly because it was not the appropriate word. My grandmother's day was bloody. You don't say bloody around here, like bloody hell or bloody this. That was actually considered a swear word back in the 1800s and early 1900s. So if you said bloody hell would be as bad as saying, fuck you, you know. So it's amazing how our language has changed, and it's continually changing to this day on words that are being said and not said, and words that are being eliminated from our vocabulary. Because we just don't say it because you might offend somebody. Well, excuse me, that's retarded. I said it. So today, I mean, yesterday, I claimed yesterday as National Park Where the Fuck You Want to Park Day. I'm serious. It was crazy. Just like, let's just stop in the middle of the road, a busy freeway in Calgary here, because I need something out of my trunk. Do I pull over to the side? No, I park right here because I need it now. And then my husband had choice words to say to that person or to say about that person. I won't say that here because some of those words you're not allowed to say anymore. Then he was, what was it? Oh, a truck, a big delivery truck, just pulled around the corner and parked sort of right there on the corner, like didn't leave any room for a pedestrian to go across, or when a car went to turn, had to make an extra wide turn to go around it. And what was the other? A delivery person. Let's just stop on this in this lane because I need to deliver this food, but I don't know where the house is. Yes, we're making up our own rules because it's just because that's just what we did. And this is just something that we observed with every single person that we saw doing this stuff. Just observing, not judging, just observing. Every single one was a foreigner. It's like, did you take a road test? Did you learn how to do you have a license? Or are you just like I know when I lived in the Northeast, sometimes these guys, some especially cab drivers, they would loan their driver's license to their cousin or somebody else because they said they looked similar. People won't be able to tell the difference. And so they would give the other person their driver's license to drive with so they didn't have to go through the driving thing, and take the exam and stuff like that. Ah, you just shake your head. You just shake your head and you're just like, "Oh, what the hell is going on here? We are going crazy. We are going into this nuttiness, this obscure world, and we're looking all around and everything feels upside down." Here's another thing that I heard. It's coming up. Must be back east. This is what came up. This is a Canadian thing, and and it's been on a few bloggers came out, and it said the warming of weather. This is Canada. This is a Canadian place back east. Of course, it's back east because it's just like when people say, "Oh, this is Canadian thing." First thing I ask them is like, "What part of Canada did you hear it from?" Was it, is this, what part of Canada is it? Was it Alberta? Was it Saskatchewan, Manitoba, BC? And next thing I hear is like, well, it was from Ontario and New Brunswick. And I went, that's not all Canada. That's where the dumb fucks live. Just saying. Not all, I got a good friends, but sometimes I'm going to say that's where some of the dumb fucks live. So, less boats. There's less boats out on the water. We have less boats out there. Less boats. So, having less boats out in the ocean, it's making it hotter because they're not out there stirring up the current. I don't know what to say. I just don't. I just like, mm, okay. So, less boats out there. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. 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 Makes sense to me. It doesn't that make sense? That makes perfect sense to me. Like, I just I don't know what to say. I don't know. It's like people's brains. I don't know if they're there. I don't know if it's there or if it needs some, like electric thought, electric shock therapy, electric shock therapy. Yes, that's what I'm thinking. I think I just got dumber. It is, it's that cray kind of energy, that cray, and you gotta sort of scratch your head and you're wondering, where where are all the smart people? I posted, the sad part, people will believe this. I know. Um, yeah. So it's just a little bit, you know, just a little bit crazy. Just a little bit crazy. As we're going along, especially with this astrology and this energy that's coming in, building up to this new moon, and which will be in the opposition of Uranus with Mars. It's not, it's, I know it's painful. Um, I'm really feeling there's going to be some real crazy hits that are going to be happening, especially when we're looking at the holy war that's happening. And I'm calling it is a holy war. I mentioned a holy war many years ago, but with the astrology and everything that's coming in of wanting to have that, the pressure, I'm right, you're wrong. Um, And I posted something on my Facebook, and it has to do with some history. It's just history. It's not choosing sides. It's history. And that's the whole thing, is that people need to educate themselves, because as the boats, because there's not enough out there and it's making it hotter, um will believe this. They will believe these things. It's like the government or whoever will believe whatever we say. They will believe. They'll go along because they went along with everything the last 3 years, right? So of course they're going to believe this. um and it's sad. It's sad. It really is. um because I mean, even with, we're at a sort of oddity with the energies, and it's not, even with Saturn isn't really going fast yet, and is not up to even a minute right now. So it's a little bit of an oddity, and we're like, not it's not really easy with it, with everything that's coming forward, and we're feeling sort of the twists and turns of our lives, and where we want to go and what we want to do. And it's our values, and this is where, the values, not inflating them. It's not to inflate your values, and that's where I find where some of the energies might be coming in for some people. It's like inflating their values, that their values are better than somebody else's values, or I'm more righteous than you are, and standing in that type of energy and saying that I have the right, because look at who I am, look at how I believe, look at how I worship every day. And just because you pray every day doesn't mean you're any better than anybody else. People have different ways of praying. People have different ways of meditating. It's how they connect. And just because you feel like you have to pray every single second, if you have to pray every single second, it does that. I don't know. I think if you're having to pray every single second, I think that's showing more of a lack of faith, instead of saying, okay, I said my prayers and now I'm going to allow. It's like a 2-year-old knocking on the door all the time. You know, hi, mom, 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 mom. And it's like, God, 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 God. It's that you're not allowing for things to come forward. You're not allowing for the transformation to happen, because all you're doing is knocking on the door and you're not listening. And I feel that's really where it's coming in. It's like, I'm going to yell louder than you so that you hear me. Now you believe what I believe because I'm louder than you. No, no, that's not the way it works. If you want to have a civil conversation, that's totally awesome. We'll have that civil conversation. But it's where it feels like the loudest voice will win, And it's not necessarily the loudest voice will win. It's just that you want to be so loud. I don't want to hear you anymore. I don't want to be a part of you anymore. And we're finding, especially, with all of these protests, and there's a huge worry about this weekend. This weekend is a very sacred weekend to many of the veterans and the people who've gone before us, that have fought in wars that they believed was to give us freedom, so that we can live in a world where we have choices. You could choose what church you want to go into. Many times when I go and I do these little ghost tours, and I go in these small towns, some of these small towns, like they're just small hick little towns, not a lot of people there. There's like 4 or 5 churches in these towns, right? And it's like, just think, they were able to build those churches because that was their faith. That's what they believed in. And each one was filled with the people that believed in that dogmatic, religion. And that's what they went out and they fought for. The people in World War One, and we know the politics of World War One. World War One was a very political war. It was a very horrid war. There was the what do you call it? I'm trying to think. The chancellor of Germany at the time was the grandson of Queen Victoria, and it was Queen Victoria's eldest daughter, Vicky. That was her son, but he had a deformity. He had one leg shorter than the other. Went through some horrific things because because that's, her son. You can't have deformed people, and in the royal family. We lock him away. We put him away in asylums and everything else. But, he pretty well looks normal except for his foot. But anyways, he had such hatred for England, right? Such hatred for England that he basically caused a war, right? He wanted to get back at them, kind of thing. So it was a little boy having a tantrum. And after that, they just exiled him, from Germany. World War II, we had, and then of course the economy and everything from Germany and stuff, just Germany's the one who usually causes a lot of the depression and things like that in the world too. Go back through history every time, even back before 2008, the cause of a lot of the markets were going down had to do with what Germany was doing. So we have, this energy, like World War II happened and the rise of Mr. Hitler. And our people, our forefathers went ahead and they fought for it. Now, I know a lot of people don't like wars. They don't want to, but I have to say, when there are times, and we are humans, that standing up for one's right, sometimes you have to stand, you have to fight for what you want. Now, that could be a physical fight, that could be, a different type of fighting, a debating. But here we are in this time of coming in where there's a concern for this weekend and I'm looking at the astrology, it's very explosive, of the type of energy that's coming in that is very explosive this weekend for November the 11th. And the amount of uprise that is coming in with this. And they are looking at restrictions on what type of restrictions they want to put on, especially with these protests that want to come in. And it's fine. Protest if you want to be peaceful, but not to protest to a point that protesting is like, I got a point, I need to gather, we need to make this thing happen. It's also to not stop other people from doing what they need to do as well. And that's where the concern and the conflict and the explosions are going to come in. And the defacing, like don't deface, like monuments that are made for those that have passed before us, the veterans and that. So this weekend is really going to be quite a buildup, and with Saturn going forward and with the energies of getting closer to Uranus, makes it something very that can erupt very easily. And this is where it's like for us, it's like not to look for perfectionism, but it's for us to look and move and make adjustments that we can. On that note, I can't stay too long because that's my son and I have to go pick him up. So I'm going to pull one card for us today. And he's having a freak out. Just one second. Okay. And the card I pull is the Queen of I don't give a shit. All right? And this is a queen that stands in her passion and stands in her power. And that's where we need to stand, in our passion and our power. All right? So on that note, stand in your passion and your power. And I'm going to love you and leave you. And I got to get going because I got a little Libra who's going to not stop texting me until I say I'm on my way. Have a blessed one. And I'll be on, hopefully on to later. Look up Thursday. We have the intuitive class, which is $25 if you want to join. So we have that, and it's an hour and a half. So blessings, everybody. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.